capitals in Liberia pliable for all seasons. Hence, after all these consultations, the Conference Committee affirms that the new revenue number for fiscal year 2023 is $782,943,000 with the attached acts and working papers. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we once again crave your indulgence to approve this fiscal year 2023 national budget in the amount of $782,943,000, or its Liberian equivalent of $142,139,108,000. The budget exchange rate of $156 to $1 US. The Committee on Ways, Means and Finance, Chair Honorable Tamaki Fala San, Honorable Mafi Gizaza Co-Chair San,
how pass it now? The person here up.
Honorable Mana, Honorable Joseph M. Matthews, Junior San, Honorable Mabu M. Sunni, Member San, Honorable Mirret Kawab, Member San, Honorable B. Majurid, Member San, Honorable Dawan Chuan Likia, Member San, Honorable Abake Jones, Member San, Honorable Baron David Zambe, Member San, Honorable Julie F. Weah, Member San, and Honorable Josiah Mamiko, Member San. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Co-Presiding, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of the report for the Conference Committee on the National Budget for fiscal year 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy. Esteemed honorable colleagues, having heard the report from the Conference Committee on the National Budget FY 2023, what is it with a pleasure?
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Newman.
Mr. Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, let me first appreciate the work of the Honorable Liberian Senate.
Always a motion. Is an endorsed agenda. And it's a time for the motion on the report being read. Honorable, it's a motion on the floor.
Ben, move.
My observation has to do with the formation of the conference committee. Consistent with our rules and legislative best practice, whenever a committee is settled and the committee emerges with a decision, and that committee decision is forwarded to the Senate, when the Senate author the decision of that committee, eventually it means that a conference committee got to be a committee that will be the voice of that. The Ways and Means Committee is the one that raised the issue. And it been authored. So automatically, the formation of the committee to have exclusively the same committee that came out with reports that was rejected.
Mr. Speaker, colleagues, the information in our order as given by our colleague is related. It is prerogative of the plenary on the gavel of the Speaker to form a conference committee, even if the Speaker decides in his permission to redeem the current committee. It's the prerogative of the Speaker, and we have long passed that. The committee has worked, and the committee has reported, Mr. Speaker, so we are past due. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Observation denied.
Presiding, I will give you some empirical facts. The issue of the conference committee is as same as the child petition. Whenever a committee is requested to the child petition, it means that the committee has fulfilled, and therefore there should be a formation of a separate committee. Presiding, my comment, I am not. This is a critical issue, and the discussion must be issue that will satisfy the Liberian people. You understand? If they say we repose confidently in committee on ways and this committee decision are being uttered by the Senate, it implies that there will be a corporate committee that will comprise of different professional law people. Because presiding to accept the same committee that their decision was uttered is unlegislative.
Thank you.
I want to make it clear.
Thank you. So if I only enlighten our colleague, as we have always said, was what the Senate also did. So there was no error, and there is no legislative information that says so. So upon that, observation is denied. Proceed with your motion. Proceed with your motion.
This time we appreciate the Senate for the job that is legislatively well done. We expect that they ensure the fixed and balanced situation between the both givers. This house, this honorable house of representatives, forwarded to the Liberian Senate for concurrence 2023 budget in the amount of 794 million. The Liberian Senate is having meticulously perused all of the documentations submitted by the Honorable House of Representatives. In their wisdom, determined that the budget had to be reduced by 12 million. Thereby giving us their pressure to be 782 million. Consistent with legislative practice, we as the House of Representatives the Quater Conference Committee, similarly constituted by the Senate, the both committees met, and to the best of our knowledge today, they found I can get a second, I will now further deliberating on this instrument. That the $782,700 budget be passed by the National House as the national budget of the Republic of Liberia for the fiscal year 2023.
I will be ready to vote if you accept this amendment that Rule 19.4 of our rules provides in our code that any voting in land of money, possession, treaty, there will be a vote of a roll call in order to establish those who are making decisions on behalf of the Liberian people for a general purpose. Therefore, I will be ready to vote if this identical amendment can be accepted.
To the best of my knowledge, whenever we are voting to pass a law, the national budget being of no exception, we vote by show of hands and no nay and yea process is considered. And so all those who will be in favor of voting against will raise their hands. All those that will be in favor or against, even if you are asking, you will raise your hand.
All respectfully denied.
That's it, I'm ready to vote. All those who are making them up with their right hand.
So this is the passage of the national budget. It was passed from the House, went to the Senate, but then there was a conference committee constituted by the two houses. The conference committee report was just been read. Here we are.
No, Mr. Speaker. No, Mr. Speaker, you cannot influence vote. You cannot influence vote, Mr. Speaker.
Something I was still holding today. You
put on your right hand. Okay. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, there are 21 for, 2 against, 1 abstention. Thank you very much. Honorable Greeker is recognized.
After careful consideration of my motion is hereby presented. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. So that said, the motion carried, and Honorable Chief Flag, please add the following. Thank you.
So the national budget is being passed.
From the House's Joint Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and Judiciary on the ratification of 5 financing agreements signed between the Republic of Liberia recipient and the International Development Association RDA as administrator, Republic of Liberia recipient, and African Development Bank and African Development Fund as administrators respectively. Complement, Mr. Speaker, and esteemed colleagues. The Joint Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and Judiciary consider the task with honor to report its findings for 5 distinct financing agreements submitted by the Executive to the Legislature for ratification. Mr. Speaker, the committee's mandate was to conduct a review of the 5 financing agreements and report findings that will appropriately inform House of Secretary in keeping with the desires of the Executive. Accordingly, in keeping with the mandate of the committee, I will review the findings from the 5 financing agreements submitted by the Executive are yet submitted as follows. 1. The financing agreement, additional financing for the recovery of economic activity for Liberia informal sector employment project between the Republic of Liberia and the International Development Association. Mr. Speaker, the objective of this financing agreement is to increase access to income and opportunities for the vulnerable in the informal sector for foreign reasons. 1. Response to crisis. 2. Expand income to livelihood support to poor and households where food is scarce. 3. Improve efficiency in managing social protection programs in the informal sector. Distinguished colleagues, as a result of the massive devastation caused by the 15 years conflict, civil conflict in Liberia, greatly brought every sector of our economy to a complete state.
I dress you well. You ain't gonna wear your dress, man.
Those disruptive structure and substance. The Bureau's recovery, reconstruction, and developmental needs not to be overemphasized. With additional fundings, the financing agreement signed for ratification, the informal sector of our economy should be considered paramount in forming a new post-war state. The economy for the objectives of increasing access to income mining opportunities for our citizens in the informal sector. Cost of projects, schedule payments, and maximum commitment cash rate. A concessional financing has credit of $50 million. B commitment cash rate 1.25%. C payment date scheduled forward 15 August 15 each year. 2. Financing agreement, additional agreement for the rural economic transformation project. Mr. Speaker, the secretaries, the objective of this financing agreement, in keeping with this discussion, is to improve production and market access for smallholder farmers and agro enterprises for selected value chains in project participating counties. Countries will be stipulated about at a commitment change rate under the general terms and conditions of the agreement. Further, this smallholder farmers in Liberia, the benefits Liberia is to accrue from the rural transformation project are 1. Enhance the capacity of selected other services that are critical for enabling agro-business within the Ministry of Agriculture and the Cooperative Development Agency. 2. Using the capacities of the Department of Regional Development Research and Extension within the Ministry of Agriculture. And 3. Enhance competitiveness and market access to productive alliance. Cost concession financing has credit $30 million. Commitment for charge rate 1.25%. Schedule August 15, February 15, August 15 each year. 3. Mineral agreement, regional and emergency solar panel, international project signed between the people of Liberia and the International Development Association. 4. Loan agreement amongst the Republic of Liberia and the African Development Bank and the African Development Fund as a result of the transition support project. That is emergency food production program. And 5. Additional financing agreement between the Republic of Liberia and African Development Fund for additional loan for the special agro-industrial processing zone project. Mr. Speaker, the objective of this financing agreement are 1. To create a better business environment for increased investment in the agro-industrial sector. 2. To create opportunities for private sector investments at all industrial levels. Coordinate the integration of smallholder farmers. 3. To improve capacities and skills to benefit from new agro-business employment. Committees concerned for ratification. Now, therefore, Mr. Speaker and Mr. colleagues, in compliance with Article 34 of the Liberia Constitution, which the executive added on to submit 5 financing agreements for ratification, in keeping with the mandate of the joint committees, the House's joint committee, on which means finance and development and judiciary, to conduct a review analysis of the 5 financing agreement. The committee is pleased to note with approval after thorough scrutiny of the 5 financing agreements in keeping with the objectives, discretions under the general terms and conditions of the 5 agreements, respectively and needful for ratification. As such, the committee hereby recommends the passage of the 5 financing agreements. Respectfully signed, the committees, Ways, Means, Finance, and Development Committee, Honorable Timothy Farah, Chairman, signed. Honorable Mafiji Zaza, Co-Chairman, signed. Honorable Francis Sedi Dogo, the second member, signed. Honorable Mabu M. Soni, member, signed. Honorable Mary Kawa, member, signed. Honorable member, signed. And Honorable Abba Jones, member, signed. Honorable Baron Zagwe, member, signed. Honorable Julie F. signed as member, and Honorable Josiah Mabeko, member, signed. On the Committee on Judiciary, Honorable Councilor Ekani Wessel, Chairman, signed. Honorable Jimmy W. Smith, member, signed. Honorable Joseph Sumabi, member, signed. Honorable Dr. George E. Sebebole, member, signed. Honorable Mafiji Zaza, member, signed. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of the report from the House's Joint Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and Judiciary on the ratification of 5 financing agreements as read. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Esteemed honorable colleagues, having heard the report from the House's Joint Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and Judiciary for ratification of the below 5 listed loan instruments. What is your will and pleasure? Here.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Having attentively followed the reading of a well-written report from the hands of the Joint Committee, Ways, Means, Finance, Development Planning, and the Committee on Judiciary for ratification, Honorable Speaker, I move, if I can be seconded, that this reading form part of the last reading, and that this financing agreement be endorsed in their entirety, and that this honorable plenary, owing to the fact that these agreements are in the direction of promoting food security, environmentally friendly, sustainable energy, as well as promoting trade and commerce across Liberia, that this honorable plenary see it prudent to endorse these agreements and all forward these agreements to the Honorable Senate for concurrence, if I can be seconded.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, for restating the motion, are you ready to vote? All right. Those in favor, make it known by putting up your right hand. All those against, all those abstain, resolve.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, the vote is unanimous.
Unanimous vote, the motion carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, please act accordingly. Call for special committee reports.
No special committee reports.
Call for bills, motions, and resolutions.
No bills, motions, or resolutions.
This is the Speaker's desk.
March 7, 2023. Honorable Buffer Chambers, Speaker, the Honorable House of Representatives in session, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to submit for enactment by the Honorable Legislature the below listed bills titled 1. Act amending an act to amend Section 3.6 of the Judicial Law, Title 17 of the Liberia Code of Laws revised to provide for the appointment of additional relief judges for the circuit court judges or circuit courts by adding new Section 3.6.1 appointment of 3 additional relief judges. Honorable Speaker, you will recall that the legislature enacted an act to amend Section 3.6 of the Judicial Law to provide for the appointment of 4 additional relief judges for the circuit courts. The act was approved and printed in the handbills on July 29, 2022 and August 2, 2022, respectively. Even though this amended act has mitigated some of the challenges faced by our judicial system, recent experiences have shown that other circumstances such as increase in population and the growing expanded activities within the Republic has given rise to the need for more circuit courts and more judges to attend to those circuit courts and thereby provide greater access to justice. This will supplement the strength of the existing circuit courts and to attend to unexpected emergencies growing out of the inability or incapacity of judges to attend upon assignment to one or more circuits. 2. An act to amend sections 3.8, 3.9, 3.11, 3.12, and 3.13e of Chapter 3 and Section 25.62 of Chapter 25 of Title 17, the Judicial Law of the Liberia Code of Laws revised to change the terms of the circuit courts from quarterly sessions to biannual sessions. I'm resubmitting this draft law, which seeks to amend Chapters 3 and 25 of Title 17 of the Liberia Code of Law revised to extend the terms of the circuit courts from quarterly sessions to biannual sessions to provide sufficient time for the adjudication of cases. Honorable Speaker, as you may be aware, the criminal procedure and new judicial laws were enacted in 1972, some 14 years between the coming into force of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia. Therefore, they did not fully capture the mandate of the Constitution, which guarantees at Article 21, subsection F and H, to every accused person a fundamental right to a speedy, public, and impartial trial by a jury of the vicinity, and prohibits also, as a part of the fundamental rights, preventive detentions. These laws do not adequately reflect the constitutional mandate regarding an accused person, the criminal justice system, and more generally, the rule of law. They have been unable to deliver significantly on the above issue, a situation that, when combined with the substantial time spent by courts in disposing cases, and the fact that 2 or more juries cannot be independent to run currently has contributed considerably to backlog of cases. A huge number of pre-trial detainees and overcrowded prisons in many urban areas. I therefore request that the legislature enact into law these important legislation or amendments which will improve our judicial sector and establish confidence in our justice system. Sincerely, George M. Senior, President of the Republic of Liberia. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was the reading of the communication from the President of the Republic of Liberia submitted for enactment by this legislature two legislations. One, an act to amend section 3.6 of the judiciary law, and an act to amend sections 3.8, 3.9, 3.11, 3.12, and 3.13E of chapter 3 of the judiciary law of the Liberian Code of Laws revised. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was the second reading. The first reading of this act, asking this honorable body to enact these two acts into law. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Esteemed honorable colleagues, having heard the communications from the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Manuel Senior, submitting to the legislature for enactment of the below-listed instruments, amending an act to amend section 3.6 of the judiciary law, title 17 of the Liberian Code of Laws revised, to provide for the appointment of additional leading judges for the circuit courts by adding a new subsection 3.6.1, appointment of 3 additional leading judges, and an act to amend section 3.8, 2.9, 3.11, 3.12, and 3.13E of chapter 3 and section 25.6, 2 of chapter 25 of title 17, the judicial law of the Liberian Code of Laws revised, to change the terms of the circuit courts from quarterly sessions to biannual sessions. What is and submitting, what is your will and pleasure? Honorable feedback juror.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues. After listening to the communications from the President requesting for amendments of the Liberian the Code of Law revised, referencing the appointment of additional relieving judges in the circuit court, and also referencing to amend the terms of the circuit court from quarterly to biannual, I move that I can obtain a second that these communications be received and handed over to the following committees: the Committee on Judiciary as the lead committee, and the Committee on Good Governance as so moved.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, having heard the motion And if you Senator, what is the will and pleasure? Are you not ready to vote? Already. Already, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the movement, I will be ready to vote were you to accept this simple amendment that the motion being raised will consider 2 weeks as a timeline for reporting.
To the honourable gentleman from Silo, I accept.
You know that we're closing.
With this said, are you ready to vote?
I'm ready.
Yeah, Honorable gentleman.
Less than 2 weeks, closing.
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, realizing that the National Legislature is going on its second break, I want to make an amendment to the motion as follows. That the report of the committees involved as the joint committee be made during the second sitting of the second session of the 54th Legislature. Instead of saying 2 weeks when you go in and be here.
Mr. Movement.
To the honourable gentleman from Rufa County, I will return to be predicated on the 6th session. So with that amendment, I do accept that we can come back and the report be made in the second sitting of the 6th session.
Thank you.
With that said, are you ready to vote? Ready to vote?
Ready.
Distinguished colleagues, without interfering, it has financial implication, and also routinely you have 2 committees, of course, but those are restricted to normally Ways, Means and Finance and Judiciary. Just Ways, Means and Finance and Judiciary. Yeah, Honorable Jones.
I've been listening to the hard table. I will be ready to vote for you to consider this amendment. That the Committee on Ways, Means and Finance be added and the Committee on Good Governance be extracted.
To the gentleman from Nagibi, your amendment is in 2 perspectives. One is accepted to add the Waste, Means and Finance Committee, and the aspect of removing the good governance is rejected.
We hold the motion and we proceed to the next item. We seize the motion. I seize the motion.
Office of the President. March 9, 2023. Honorable Dr. Chambers, Speaker, Honorable House of Representatives in Section, Cabinet Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Legislature for passing the bill entitled an act to amend certain sections of the new Elections Law 1986 as amended through. The bill includes several important sections, including a requirement for political parties based on candidates to the National Elections Commission shall include no less than 30% candidates from each gender. While I support this section and others, there are sections and items in the bill that are either already addressed by existing constitutional provisions, existing statute, or that are better addressed through the existing independent recruitment process of NEC. Additionally, it is important to note that the Republic is about 7 months away from the 2023 general elections. Moreover, certain changes in the election laws at a time so close to the ECOWAS Protocol A/SP1/12/0201 on democracy and good governance, 6 months restriction will tend to send mixed signals to the electorate and present a potential to cause delay in elections processes. Hence, pursuant to Article 35(1), Chapter 5 of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, which grants the President the authority to bind acting veto certain portions in the bill, and hereby allow acting veto and return to the Honorable House of Representatives where this bill originated. The bill with the below enumerated items and sections. Amendment on Section 2.1, Office of the National Elections Commission. Section 2.1 has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objection. This section will create a 13-person ad hoc vetting scrutiny committee that will submit a list of persons from which the President will be mandatorily required to select from and nominate them to the Honorable Liberian Senate for confirmation to serve as commissioners of the National Elections Commission. The Presidency believes that this will overly politicize the selection process of persons to serve as commissioners of the NEC. The existing Section 2.1 of the Election Law already provides for 2 separate vetting processes that are consistent with the checks and balances within the political branches. First, the Presidency conducts a vetting of person or persons to nominate for confirmation. After the Presidency selects a person, that information is made known to the public. Thereafter, the person's name is submitted to the Honorable Senate, where a public vetting takes place before and during the confirmation hearing. This process allows any person or organization to participate by bringing to the attention of the Presidency and/or the Honorable Senate any relevant information that person or organization may have on the nominee. Presidency, therefore, believes that the existing law already provides for checks and balances regarding the scrutiny of persons to serve as commissioners of the NEC. Amendment of Section 2.2, Appointments and Tenure. Section 2.23 has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objection. Section 2.23 will require a commissioner to be retired at age 70, even if his or her 7-year term has not expired. The Presidency notes, however, that a period within which a commissioner will become statutorily ineligible to serve as a commissioner of the NEC is already addressed in Amendment 2.21, which limits a commissioner's tenure to a maximum of 2 terms. The Presidency therefore believes that a 2-term limit within Amendment 2.21 addresses the period within which a commissioner would be eligible to serve as a commissioner of the NEC. Amendment of Section 2.10, Chairman. Section 2.10C has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Section 2.10D has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objection. The Presidency believes that the existing Section 2.10 of the Elections Law already provides for proper administrative function and supervision within the NEC. Additionally, the Republic is about 7 months away from the 2023 general elections, and as such, administrative changes should be considered in a non-election year. Amendment of Section 2.11, Vice Chairperson. The words, quote-unquote, or the Board of Commissioners in the last sentence of section 2.11 have been acted vetoed. Objection. The presidency believes that the remaining language in section 2.11 captures when empowered the vice chairperson in the act. Amendment of section 2.12, legal staff. Section 2.12 has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objection. This section will mandate the NEC to appoint a legal counsel or research officer from a short list of candidates submitted to it by the Liberia National Bar Association. The presidency believes that the existing section 2.12 of the election law, which provides that the NEC shall appoint legal counsels and research officers through an open and transparent selection process, is broad in that it allows all qualified lawyers to apply directly to the NEC without having to pass through an intermediary. The current process also maintains the independence of the NEC in its recruitment process. Amendment of section 2.19, appointment of executive director. Section 2.19.1 has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objection. This section will mandate the NEC to select an executive director from a list of candidates submitted to it by the Civil Service Agency. The presidency believes that the existing section 2.19 of the elections law, which provides that the Board of Commissioners shall appoint the executive director through an open and transparent process, is broad in that it allows all qualified persons to apply directly to the NEC. This process also maintains the independence of the NEC in its recruitment process. Amendments of section 2.24.1, magistrates of election. Section 2.24.1, the following words in section 2.24.1 have been acted vetoed. Quote, a magistrate of election shall be directly responsible to the Board of Commissioners and shall serve as liaison between the Board of Commissioners and the county to which he or she is assigned in all matters regarding the execution and implementation of this law and regulations of the National Elections Commission, the administration and supervision of elections and all election activities within his or her county of assignment. Unquote. Objection. The presidency believes that the remaining language in section 2.24.1 adequately captures the role of the magistrates of elections and how they would be obligated to follow instructions issued to them by the Commission. Amendment of section 5.12, hearing and determination of complaints. Section 5.12.3a has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Section 5.12.3f has been acted vetoed in its entirety. Objections. These sections require subsidiary magistrates, employees in the judicial branch of government, to make initial determinations of contested election cases with the Board of Commissioners sitting as an appellate body to review such decisions. The presidency believes that these sections conflict with Article 83C of the Liberian Constitution, designates the NEC as the forum where political parties and candidates can file contested elections complaints and give the NEC 30 days to investigate, with appeals of NEC's decision going directly to the Honorable Supreme Court. The presidency does not believe that it is proper to have lower court magistrates involved in this constitutionally prescribed process for determining contested elections cases. Amendments of section 5.12, hearing and determination of complaints. Section 5.12.4, the words, quote unquote, approved by one of the subsidiary magistrates who assigned the decision or rulings have been acted vetoed. Section 5.12.6, the words quote-unquote, on an appeal from the Board of Hearing Officers have been adjourned veto. Objections. As stated above, the presidency does not believe that the lower court magistrates should be involved as hearing officers in the NEC's determination of Article 83C cases. Amendment of Section 5.13.1, decisions on complaints by the Commission. Article 5.13.1 has been adjourned vetoed in its entirety. Objection. This section will require the Board of Commissioners to within 72 hours after oral argument render final ruling. The presidency shares the concern that contested elections cases must be decided without unnecessary delays, but notes, however, that Article 83C of the Liberian Constitution gives the entire LEC, including the Board of Commissioners, a total of 30 days from the filing of a complaint to investigate and render final ruling. The presidency is willing to work with this honorable legislature on ways to enhance the next capacity to speedily dispose of election cases. Amendment, Chapter 6A, Returns of Election. Section 6A.3 has been adjourned vetoed in its entirety. Section 6A.4 has been adjourned vetoed in its entirety. Objections. These sections will have the legislative candidates declared by the NEC as being successful at the election will be certificated and seated, while complaints against the manner or results of their elections are pending before the NEC or the Honorable Supreme Court undetermined. The presidency believes that these sections will conflict with the Honorable Supreme Court's interpretation of Article 83C and Article 20A of the 1986 Liberian Constitution, C, CDC and all versus NEC and all, decided February 17, 2015, wherein the court held a similar provision of the elections law, that is the old section 6.2 subsection 2, as being in violation of the due process clause of Article 20A and Article 83C of the 1986 Liberian Constitution. With respect to the 2023 general elections, the presidency notes that the election will be held on October 10, 2023. Article 83C requires the NEC to declare the results of the elections within 15 days after the polls. Assuming the NEC takes the entire 15 days, the deadline for declaring the result will be on October 25, 2023. Article 83C provides that any political party or candidate that complains about the manner or results of the elections shall within 7 days of the announcement file its complaint with the NEC. Assuming that the entire 7 days are used, the deadline for a political party or candidate to file complaints will be November 2, 2023. Article 83C then gives the NEC 30 days to investigate and issue final ruling. Assuming the NEC uses the entire 30 days, December 2, 2023 will be the deadline for the NEC to render final ruling. The dissatisfied party will then have 7 days to perfect its appeal to the Supreme Court, which has 7 days to render its decision. Hence, election cases will be disposed of before the second working Monday in January 2024, which was the date of the 55th Legislature shall first assemble. The presidency is willing to work with this honorable legislature on ways to enhance the NEC capacity to speedily dispose of election cases. Honorable Speaker, apart from the specific portions and sections that I have acted veto herein, I hereby approve the order the other portions and sections in the bill. Sincerely, George M. Williams. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of a communication from His Excellency Dr. George Manuel Weah, vetoing some attempts of the election law that was laid before him for approval.
Thank you very much. Esteemed colleagues, having heard the communication from the President, 56th Legislature, Dr. George Manuel Weah Sr., submitting land item veto of an act to amend certain sections of the new election law of Liberia, 1986, as amended to 2014. What is your will and pleasure, Honorable Jury?
Our Speaker, fellow colleagues, having listened to the communication from the President of the Republic of Liberia, submitting an act to amend certain, or with a veto on an act to amend certain sections of the new election laws of 1986, giving objectives for the amendments, I move, if I can obtain a second, that this communication be received and handed over to the Committee on Judiciary and the Committee on Elections, and that they can report to us after return within the second week of our vacation on return. So move.
So second. Distinguished honorable colleagues, without restating the motion, are you ready to vote?
Already. I'm ready.
Yeah, Honorable Roland.
I'll be ready to vote to the movement. Were you to honorable movement, I'll be ready to vote for you to add a committee on good governance.
To the honorable gentleman from Maryland, from the chairman of the Maryland Legislative Caucus, I respectfully accept.
Distinguished colleagues, that said, are you ready to vote?
Already.
Yes. Honorable Zaza.
To the Mr. Speaker, to the movement, I will be ready to vote for if we will review the constitutional provision that gives us a limited time as to when to override a veto. So I think if we talk about after we come back, that will be in excess of the 21 days I think the Constitution provides. So I move that this report be reviewed as quickly as possible before it goes. If you will accept that.
Bearing in mind, honorable gentlemen from sign up, if you know when we are going for vacation, then I said forward to caveat that we are about to go to vacation unless the committee is going to work in extra plenary sessions, fine. But I said.
Thank you, sir.
With that said, are you ready to vote? All those in favor, make a number by saying yeah. Against?
Alright, so this is focus on Liberia. The session, the chamber is completely empty. Just after the budget was passed, that is the conference committee's report was endorsed, members of the House began to walk out. And as you can see in the camera, the entire chambers is empty, completely empty.
Having listened to the communication from the President proffering amendments to the Liberian Code of Law revised, referencing the appointment of additional relieving judges for the circuit courts, and the amendment of the terms of the circuit courts from quarterly to biannual, I move that this communication be accepted and passed over to the committees on judiciary and the committee on ways, means, and finance, and so on. And the report is submitted as as we report from vacation.
Distinguished colleagues, it has been moved and seconded that the instruments be turned over to the committees on judiciary and ways, means, and finance. With that said, are you now ready to vote? All those in favor making no by saying yea, against. Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk, please act accordingly. The appearances now.
Okay, folks, thanks for following, thanks for watching. This is Focus on Liberia Television. We're live here in the chambers of the House. Like I said, the first items on the agenda was about the conference committee's report on the process of the budget. The second was the Ways and Means report on the process of the President's act on an investment agreement. Right after that, of course, the entire session is completely empty. You can see it in the camera here as we take our camera around the chambers of the House of Representatives. Members upon the process of the conference committee's report on the budget all left. They went outside, and those members include the chairman on the Ways, Means and Finance, of course, and other members of the committee, Honorable Edo Kafia, Honorable Dowan Glukia, and many others left these chambers. As you can see, here it is. We're just taking the camera around to bring you a view of how the chambers looks like now, since the process of the budget. That is the process of the endorsement of the conference committee's report, and then the process of the President's communication on the financing agreement. So keep following us. My name is Prince Boba. I just thought to bring you a view of this chamber, how it looks like now, since the budget was passed. We had not more than 10 members of the House here since the budget was passed. Of course, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like here. Thanks for following me. Thanks for watching. This is how we're going to go up to come back in few minutes when the chairperson of the National Election Commissions shall arrive. Thanks for following me. Bye bye for now. Thanks for watching. Let me say thanks to the team in the US that are always providing us technical assistance here in Liberia to keep doing what we love, doing the best. That's Mr. Anthony C. He is the operation manager. He provides us technical assistance, logistics, finance. Also, Mr. Dennis Jia, who is the chief executive officer, is also there doing all of the technical work as well as to how F4L can move forward. Thanks for following me. Thanks for watching. Do join me when I shall come back live. Thanks for following me. Bye bye.